What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and WWE 2K24 is here, and we're going to kick off a brand new series here playing MyGM mode. So we're going to first pick our GM, and I've decided to go with someone who's not in the game last year. How about Teddy Long? Theodore Long. He's going to be the GM. We're going to do SmackDown, and we're going to go up against, let's just go up against Adam Pearce, so he can be Raw, and there we go. So let's get to our draft. First, let's get to our settings. We're going to leave everything how the default settings. So we're going to play on the normal difficulty. We're going to have the $2.75 million budget. Default draft order. We'll keep the shakeups on. I don't remember that from last year, so we'll see what that, how that plays into this. We will have the default draft pool. Auto draft will be off. We're going to do our draft, and that's what we're going to do here in this first episode. And then match unlocks, that'll be default. So we will have to unlock some of the matches. So let's get to the draft. And I don't even have a game plan. We're just going to kind of wing this thing and see what happens. I don't know who I'm going to pick. As you take a look at the draft rules, let's get into it. And with our first pick, who should we get? You can see a lot of a lot of these top people. They're all similar in terms of how much they cost. So I don't want to spend a ton of money. I don't want to go after Ronda Rousey or Becky Lynch or even Roman Reigns. Let's go with Seth freaking Rollins for our first pick. He's a specialist, so he can work with anyone and have great matches. So we will add him first, and then you can also, you can get the recommendations, but I'm not really going to pay attention to that. So it looks like Raw decided to go with Charlotte Flair for their first pick. All right, so now we're going to get, I think Randy Orton would be great. Let's go ahead and get Randy Orton. So he's going to be our other top male superstar. And let's see what they go. They go with Sheamus. So Sheamus is their second pick. We need to get our first female, and I think we definitely can't go wrong with Rhea Ripley. So I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley there. And now let's see what they pick. They're going to go with Damian Priest. All right, so I forgot to look at the heel face or the good guy, bad guy, whatever you want to call it, when I picked Rollins and Orton. So we want to make sure when we get our second female that we get a face. And see who we can get from the face. I don't want to go with Becky Lynch as we go through here. We can actually shift this over to the women. So what we'd like to get is a face, and we'd like to get a fighter. You can see Nikki Cross, Michin. I'm not really feeling either one of those. We may have to just get a specialist. You see Maxine Dupree. I'm going to pass on her. And really not a lot of options here to get a fighter that is a good guy. And so maybe we'll go with a specialist instead. And if we go find a specialist, I don't really want Natalya either. Yeah, this is kind of tough. We're going to go with Gigi Dolan. All right, so an up-and-coming star. We're going to pick her, and then we will flip back over to the men's side of things. So we've picked up a couple to face. So we definitely need a heel on this side. We could go with a specialist. I mean, we've got Seth Rollins, who is a specialist, then we've got Randy Orton, who is a fighter. So let's see if we can find a heel bruiser. Of course, you see Roman Reigns right there, but I don't really want to spend that much money. So who else could we get that is a bruiser, that is a heel? And we could get Braun Breaker. All right, I like that pick. So I like how it's coming together so far. As you see, they make a pick of Logan Paul. And now let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get another male superstar, and we're going to try to get a giant and a cruiser. So we'll see which one we would like to go with first. And let's see here as we go through our list. And it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. Not a ton of great options here for exactly what we're looking for. And so I'm going to go with, again, I want to get somebody a little bit cheaper here as well. So we're looking for maybe let's go, I was looking at the faces, maybe go with a heel. You've got Jimmy Uso there, who is a cruiser. You've got lots of options here. And so we're going to go with, we might actually go with Jimmy Uso. I think he'll be a good pick. So we'll go with Jimmy Uso there. So he'll be our pick there to get a cruiser. Then we're going to come back and get a giant, perhaps a giant face. I see Braun Strowman. I think he would fit perfectly. So we're going to get Braun Strowman. As you take a look at their pick, they get Veer. And so now we need to get another female superstar. All right, so we've got a bruiser and we've got a fighter. Now we need to go and get a cruiser. And man, I would love to get Alexa Bliss, but $304,000 is a lot of money. Maybe we should get someone a little bit cheaper. And there's not a lot of giants in the female category, so let's see if we can find a good giant that we would like to get here. And I'm thinking Piper Niven might be our best pick if we're going to try to get a giant. So we're going to pick her up, and so we'll need to get a cruiser face for our next pick to go along with Piper Niven. And so let's see who we can get. Again, a cruiser that is a face. And you see Zelina Vega. All right, so we'll get Zelina Vega. That works out pretty well. They still have a lot more money in their budget, so perhaps we have spent a little too much. We've now entered the optional rounds. We have the option to stop drafting and complete the draft, or to save some money, or we can draft some more. So I'm going to see if maybe we can get, as we take a look at our full roster over here, I'm not even sure how to go over there and look at the roster, so I don't guess we can do that. So I'm going to see if we can get maybe a specialist or somebody that we like that's pretty cheap. Again, you see we don't have much money left as we go through the list here. Solo Sikoa is still available. That could be an interesting pick there because we've got Randy Orton, who's a fighter, and so he would pair well with Randy Orton. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him. I like that pick, and now we're under 200,000. I don't want to spend all my money, but I feel like this roster, I feel like we need a little bit more. Could we maybe get a specialist that's a female to finish things out? Blair Davenport's only 120,000, or we could get Indy Hartwell 143,000. I'm not too crazy about either of those picks. And again, we don't have much money. We might just save our money. But I guess I'll go ahead and get Blair Davenport. She's the cheapest on here. She's a specialist, so we can use her for whatever, even if we have to make her a jobber. So we'll get Blair Davenport, and she will be our final pick. So there is our the featured superstars in our draft. You see, we've got, I think, a pretty good draft. We'll see what they grade the draft, see who won this draft. As you see, Raw, they've still got money, so they did not spend as much money on top superstars, and so they've got more money available, and that might bode well for them. I don't know. We'll see. As you take a look at at the beginning of the draft here, as we can go down and look at the whole draft. So they actually only wound up. But I didn't even see Tiffany Stratton down there. Man, would have loved to have picked her up, but I guess she probably wouldn't have fit. But yeah, there's if you just compare like the picks, Randy Orton versus Tony D'Angelo, I feel like that was a much better pick for us. Braun Breaker over Wesley, I think that was Rhea Ripley over Sheamus. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with these draft picks. I think they grade this out and they tell you who won the draft. Maybe they don't do that. I thought they did that, but you can see unread messages and conversations. You'll go here and see your unread messages and conversations each week. So Triple H, he said, good to talk to you. Just checking in to make sure SmackDown is ready for the new season, feeling confident. And I can say with the roster we have, I think we'll do okay. Or I can say, cannot wait to get started. We're going to storm this. So I'm going to be confident. And he said, good. I'm expecting big things out of SmackDown this season. Make it an amazing show. And then we also have a message from Adam Pierce. Teddy, how's it going? Just wanted to wish you luck for the coming season. We're looking forward to it over at Raw. Obviously, with the likes of Charlotte Flair on our books, we think we're going to give SmackDown more than a run for its money. I guess we're going to find out. And I guess we don't have to say anything to him. All right, so now we get to select our champions here. And these will be the first champions here on the show. Let's see. I think it only makes sense to make Seth Rollins the world champion. Maybe we could switch things up. I'm going to make him the world champion. And so actually we have tag team champions. So they've added, I don't remember tag team champions being here last year. So who would be our tag team champions? I have no idea because we didn't really get a tag team. And I mean, boy, this roster, we needed more superstars, honestly, on the roster. I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be, I feel like we're going to be booking the same matches over and over. So let's just go with Braun Breaker and Solo Sikoa. I don't know why. I don't know who we're supposed to pick as the champion there. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Oh, there we go. All right, so Braun Breaker and Solo Sikoa. I don't know. Probably would have made more sense to do Braun Breaker and Braun Strowman. Let's actually do that. Let's change this to Braun Strowman, and we've got the Brawns. Okay, so now we've got ourselves a tag team, and then our SmackDown Men's Champion. So I guess this would be like the Intercontinental Championship. We can give that to Randy Orton. All right, so that makes sense. And we go to the Women's Division. Obviously, we're going to go with Rhea Ripley, and then our Tag Team Champions. Let's go with the other two heels in Piper Niven and Blair Davenport. Kind of a random team there, but again, we didn't draft any tag teams. So we'll go with those for our champions. And there you go. We've got our first champions. You can see Triple H is waiting to see how your first show fares. Have your most popular available male and heel fight. Okay, so face and heel fight each other this week. So we'll have to make sure we do that with our goal. And we have our season challenges as well. You can click there to see your season challenges. You also have the GM assistant, so you can ask for assistance if you need it. And there you go. So we've completed our draft. That's going to be it for our first episode. On the next episode, we're going to book our first show and see how it goes.